A 20 million shilling church donation this Sunday, a 10 million church donation next Sunday. In recent months, this has been President William Ruto's style, seemingly wooing the church ahead of the 2027 election, in utter defiance of a ban on public donations that he issued only 9 months ago. Will the strategy work yet again, or are the dynamics shifting? NTV's David Modoka interrogates on politics and power.
Three years ago, President William Ruto and the church were inseparable. The camaraderie saw the church endorse Ruto with statements like the choice between Ruto and his main rival then Raila Odinga was like day and night, or like light and darkness. When Ruto ascended to power, his ties with the church became strained, with this statement by Catholic bishops at the end of last year an indication that Ruto and the church were now reading from different scriptures.
This culture of lies, unkept promises, and misplaced priorities is unacceptable and needs to be dealt with.
In an attempt to mend fences ahead of 2027, William Ruto is on a charm offensive yet again in churches, where he has been donating millions almost every Sunday. Last month, Ruto pledged to donate 120 million shillings to the Jesus Winner Church in Roysambu, Nairobi County.
Mimi mwenyewe nitatoa milioni 20 kwanza.
The donation sparked protests due to concerns over economic inequality and the source of the funds.
Kuna watu walikuwa wametuwekea mitego mingi. Kwanza mimi, mitego mingi. Asipoangukia hapa, ataangukia pale. Asipoangukia hapa, ataangukia pale. Mpaka leo, ukisoma gazeti ya leo, wanasema huyu Ruto ni mjanja. Mimi nawaambia, mimi si mjanja. Ni neema ya Mungu, na kwa sababu namwamini Mungu.
A week later, he donated another 14 million shillings to the AIC Annex Fellowship Church in his Uasin Gishu backyard.
Upon this nation, this rock of Kenya, we are going to build God's church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail.
This has been non-stop. Last Sunday, the president pledged to donate another 10 million shillings to construct a pastor's plaza in Narok.
Sasa kwa sababu hatuwezi kujenga ikulu hapa, tutajenga hiyo plaza ya mapasta. Na nitatafuta milioni 10 tuanzishe. Mjenge hiyo plaza. Na mukikwama hapo njiani, nitatumana hawa marafiki zangu hawa.
This year alone, it is estimated that President Ruto has donated at least 34 million shillings to churches and pledged over 100 shillings more. His allies, led by his personal aide Farouk Kibet and Kapseret MP Oscar Sudi, have also been on a donation spree, dishing out up to 1 million shillings to churches per person on Sundays. This in utter defiance of Ruto's own directive against church donations and harambes.
No state officer or public servant shall participate in public contributions or harambes going forward. The Attorney General is hereby directed to prepare and submit legislation to this effect and develop a mechanism for structured and transparent contributions for public, charitable, and philanthropic purposes.
According to the 2019 census, about 85.5% of the population identifies as Christian. This translates to roughly 48.8 million Christians in the country. According to the same census, around 55% of Kenya's population is aged 18 years and older. This translates to 26.8 million Christians who are eligible to vote, making the church vote a significant block that could determine who becomes president and who doesn't. But can Ruto count on his donations to bring the church back to his fold?
If you look at the Catholic Church, which is about 40% of the population, they have been very adamant that they don't want the contributions. And you remember the president went to Kayole and gave the contribution which was sent back. The Anglican Church has equally been very firm, led by Archbishop Sapit. So a few of the evangelicals, most of which are owned by individuals, are the ones which are now welcoming the president and his cronies and receiving the contributions.
So does it mean then that President Ruto will yet again enjoy massive support in the rest of the Protestant and evangelical churches that have been receiving his donations?
We did not say that people should not give tithes and offering. Tithes and offering within our liturgy is part of worship. But what we are saying no is the political maneuvering where you come to manipulate, to dominate the congregants so that in turn they'll support you. How do we do it? You bring, we don't announce. You bring, we don't give you permission, you don't talk. You bring as any other gifts.
Last time he managed to confuse almost the entire church, and they moved with him. But with time, there has been realization that he duped the church. So the church leadership has been very forthright and steadfast in refusing the donations. So even if he manages to use money to lure some of the people in the church, it will be a very small fraction of the church group.
With about 2.5 years before the next election, there's still plenty of time for Ruto to repair his broken relationship with the church. The question, however, is how. David Muthoka, NTV, Nairobi.